So today, we're going to dive into a really powerful tool for parents, and it comes from the work of retired clinical psychologist Lane Lasater. It's a pretty simple framework, but it's designed to help us understand and hopefully prevent those parenting moments we all wish we could just take back. All right, let's get into it. You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. A stressful situation with one of our kids just escalates, and we say something or do something that we instantly regret. It's this universal, awful feeling. But what if there was a way to understand why it happens? And maybe, just maybe, stop it from happening next time. Well, the thing is, these moments don't just pop up out of nowhere. They often build up over time, kind of like a pressure cooker, and then they're set off by triggers we might not even be aware of in the heat of the moment. Yeah, it turns out our reactions are hardly ever random. They're usually a perfect storm of our environment, our physical state, our feelings, and our thoughts, all mixed together. The real key is learning to see these factors gathering before that storm hits. And that right there is where this tool comes in handy. It's a technique Lane Lasater calls situation analysis, and it's all about helping us develop the self-awareness to really get to the root causes of our own behavior. So, what is it exactly? Well, it's basically a method for looking back at a difficult moment and identifying everything that was happening, both around you and inside you, before things went south. The goal here isn't blame, it's just about understanding. Lassiter breaks this down into four core elements, four pieces of the puzzle. First up, the environment. What's actually going on around you? Second, your feelings. Are you feeling angry, hurt, maybe anxious? Third, your thoughts. What are the stories you're telling yourself in your head? And finally, your physical state. Are you completely exhausted or hungry? Each one is absolutely crucial. Okay, to really see how this works in the real world, let's look at an example from Lasater's work. It's a story about a father named Robert and, well, a very, very difficult Friday night. All right, so picture this. It's a Friday. Robert has just wrapped up a long, grueling week at his construction business. He's physically exhausted, he's mentally drained. You can imagine his fuse is already pretty short. And then, the trigger. His teenage son, Dustin, stumbles in the door way past his curfew. Robert can immediately smell the alcohol, and he knows this is the third time this has happened. The situation just explodes. Robert shouts this incredibly loaded, incredibly hurtful thing at his son, dredging up all this deep family history and fear. And wow, it gets worse. After heated argument, the confrontation becomes physical. Robert actually pushes his son to the floor. In that one moment, he's become part of the problem he was so afraid of. I mean, what a terrible moment for both of them. But it's also a perfect opportunity to use situation analysis to figure out exactly how things got so out of control. Okay, this is where it all clicks into place. When we apply those four elements, you see the whole picture. The environment, it's late on a Friday, his son broke curfew, and there's the smell of alcohol. Physically, Robert was totally wiped out. His feelings went from worried straight to angry and hurt. And then the crucial thought, the one that really lit the fuse, was that deep-seated fear, he's becoming just like my father. You can see exactly how all those pieces connected to create that one explosive moment. So here's the really crucial point. Looking at it this way lets Robert see that his reaction wasn't just about Dustin being drunk. It was also about his own exhaustion, his past trauma with his own father, and his fear for the future. Understanding all of that is the absolute first step toward being able to choose a different reaction next time. Okay, so we've seen how this works for Robert's story. Now let's talk about you. How can you use this simple but really powerful framework for yourself? Here are the steps. First, think of a recent, challenging moment. Then, write down what was happening right before it. After that, just like we did for Robert, break it down using the four elements: environment, feelings, thoughts, and your physical state. And finally, take a second to reflect on the consequences, and this is the most important part, what you can learn from it. And this quote from Lane Lasater just sums it all up perfectly. This isn't about being a perfect parent. Nobody is. It's a process. It's about unlearning those automatic reactions that just don't work and intentionally learning new skills that do. It takes practice, and this analysis is your training ground. So I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. The next time you analyze a difficult moment, don't try to fix everything at once. Just ask yourself,
What is one small, manageable change you could make next time? Because that, right there, is where the real progress begins.